At first glance, Atomfall may look like a quaint English countryside set first-person sci-fi survival adventure, but be warned, because it also features one of the most hostile environments we've ever encountered. The people here are carrying a lot worse than angry faces in this tale of a lockdown community and a struggle over what to do about the mystery at the centre of it. Within the span of about 10 minutes, Atomfall had both delivered a wonderful first impression and made us wonder if we were even going to be able to see the game through to its conclusion.
Got one. Is anybody there? I need help.
After a brief "Who am I and why am I here?" opening inside a bunker of some sort, a now classic step out into the world moment showcases the game's quite beautiful, sprawling, lush green rural world, a red phone booth on a hill, and a dishevelled home a little further down. There we find a nice old man playing a guitar. This is lovely, we think to ourselves. We then wander 100 metres down the road into what appears to be an abandoned mine. A group of people emerge, all with strong regional accents, and we're dead in seconds. Their northern tones don't kill us, but their guns do. We try again, hiding in some grass for a while, but ultimately we're still dead. Dead, dead, dead. With a more considered approach, we finally make our way through, but this approach was largely just sneaking around slowly before legging it through a door into a new area. 2 hours into Atomfall, and we weren't having a good time. Everything felt like a slog, and progress was slow owing to all those deaths. The game felt unfair, not challenging. To make matters more frustrating, we weren't even sure what we were meant to be doing, let alone how we were meant to survive these violent attacks while carrying a weapon that had struggled to open a can of beans. Rather than point you directly where to go, Atomfall uses a lead system wherein you get some information and then use that to work out what to do, rather than having the game simply placing a marker and drawing a Google Maps style route for you to follow. This isn't as challenging as it initially seems, but it was a lot to deal with on top of the frustrating combat encounters. Thankfully though, you can do something about this. There are plenty of accessibility options here to tailor the experience, but essentially you can tweak how challenging combat, survival, and exploration are independently. We dabbled a bit, in the end opting to make combat and survival far less challenging while keeping the exploration settings untouched, and honestly, it felt as if we were playing an entirely different game. Don't get us wrong, we're sure some people might enjoy the grind, but these little alterations allowed us to finally get into an intriguing plot that manages to weave multiple disparate points together before finally asking you to make some tricky choices. We still died a lot, if you were wondering, which we think is needed for the world to feel dangerous. We just tweaked it enough to go from shouting rude words at the game to being miffed at being careless while sneaking up to a hidden back passage. It's hard to talk about Atomfall without feeling like you're not painting a true picture of what it's like to play. It's at its best, we think, when you're exploring and figuring things out.
Good day.
Broadly, you end up doing jobs for people who know more than they are letting on about why the area is like it is, and what the deal is with the region's slightly out of character blue glowing plants. In turn, this takes you all over a number of zones that are large enough to feel big without being overwhelming. The world looks rather glorious at points too, with rolling English countryside and imposing structures. Some are classic post-war defensive buildings, others are more mysterious and slightly out of time. And, oh, are those massive robots?
Stand back, citizen!
There are plenty of key locations to investigate too, often with hidden away areas to navigate as well, and the various main characters you interact with are full of intrigue.
Come closer. I don't bite.
One faction in the game, the Druids, are holed up in an old castle, for example, but this striking fortress hides some rather more interesting secrets if you go looking.
Hello. I don't know you, do I?
The sense of discovery here is top-notch, with every new area and person you find taking you one step closer to finding out just what's going on and why so many people are seemingly pushing you in different directions over whatever their ultimate solution is.
Sniff around. Keep your ears open. If you find anything I should know, come to me with it.
Melee and ranged combat play a significant part in the moment-to-moment gameplay here, which is perfectly solid, if rather unspectacular, and in keeping with the whole grounded feel of the experience.
Christ on a bike!
We became more competent as we went on, but a key part of our strategy remained running away from angry mobs that wanted us dead, although it's worth noting that your chosen settings will determine how much work you can do without stopping to give your heart a chance to slow down, which is another mechanic that compounds the sense of tension. Crafting plays its part too, with tonics, supplies and upgrades, all possible if you have the right unlocks and blueprints. Atomfall has been compared to Fallout many times, and we won't argue with that, although Rebellion's effort is way more streamlined and focused, like you'd expect of a game set in an English village and its surrounding areas, rather than a large US city. We saw one of the endings after 11 hours, but we expect you could spend at least double that if you want to go down different paths. Those of you keen to test yourselves and stick with the suggested difficulty settings, or even the one that's one notch higher if you're that way inclined, are likely to take a good deal longer.
Bastard! Oh!
Good job then that you can pour yourself a nice calming tea in the high street bakery if things get a little too much to handle. The ending you'll get here will depend on who you choose to believe over the course of the story. Atomfall has 5 people, to our count at least, trying to get you to do things their way, offering you some form of escape from this hostile world in exchange. This central storyline, who to do jobs for and ultimately side with, drives you forward, and we were pleasantly surprised to see how various threads came together or were closed off by our actions. You'll also have to determine what you are comfortable doing to make your life easier in the game, even if that's bad news for certain NPCs you've met, who you previously made certain promises to about keeping their secrets. Some of these threads see you doing similar things, such as accessing a computer terminal, but you'll frequently have different options aligned with key players, each of whom has nothing nice to say about any of the others.
So you've sided with the protocol, eh? Bloody soldiers, always digging around trying to find your secrets.
No doubt, Atomfall has issues with gameplay balance. If there weren't options to fine-tune the difficulty, we don't think we'd be able to be as positive about what we played. On top of that, there's an awful lot of trudging around the various maps too, with the game often sending you from one farthest point to the other, and there's no fast travel as an option. By the end, we found ourselves guessing where we had to go next, simply by looking at where the most distant point on the map was, and usually, we were right. Quest design too is quite basic when broken down, regularly asking you to go somewhere, only to be told you can't do the thing you went there to do until you go somewhere else to find a required item and then return. The fairly breezy story and lovely sights let Atomfall get away with most of this, and the slightly deranged Midsummer Murders Englishness of it all will help you gloss over a lot of these problems.
Oh, hello there. You must forgive me. I wasn't expecting visitors today.
It's rare we swing so wildly on a game as we did with Atomfall. From thinking it's a borderline dud to being keen to talk to other players about what they did and dive back in to see more, we are now firmly in the you should play this camp. Overall, Atomfall is largely competent in a lot of areas, rather than being unique or genre-leading. But even then, we really enjoyed the world that Rebellion has created, and its duplicitous main characters, and the post-war sci-fi story. Thank you so much for watching this review video of Atomfall. If you enjoyed it, please do give this video a like, subscribe to Eurogamer for almost daily videos about video games, and why not check out some of our other review videos that are on screen and clickable right now. That Assassin's Creed Shadows one's pretty good, just saying. Bye!